middle of May 2011 and people around the world are on their toes to fight for environment, shelter or simply their lives. The English went as far as rioting for the king at the royal wedding in Glasgow, and in Bristol against retail giant Tesco and the Purple Raiding their squat village across the street. Several people were injured, 4 arrested. In countrywide raids, more people got arrested and more shelter and social space got lost. Up to 1,000 disgruntled Polish workers went on the 5th of May through some police lines in front of the main office of Europe's second largest mining company, KGHM in Lubin, to talk to their bosses about the pay dispute. A raise will be given, however, equality was denied. CEO Wirth commented it would ruin the motivation.
As long as you subscribe to a dogma, any dogma, no matter how benign, you will never be free.
In Singapore, the police tried to declare a petition for more transparency in the election process as illegal, which ended up in some sort of a riot on election day. In Italy, Tunisian refugees staged a riot for their right of shelter after a controversial deal between the Italian and Tunisian government. The maze of the day was received by a cameraman documenting the police joining a block party in Illinois. Macomb Police Chief Baker is thankful for all the raw footage posted on YouTube that he claimed to have used to hand out over 100 tickets so far. He also sees resisting the police as a crime.
OC spray, that shit burns! I just got sprayed in the face!
An effort on the part of everybody who's concerned about the environment to come out and, find your comfort zone here. It may not be in front of a bulldozer, but it could be up on the road and holding out signs.
The months of May also marked several occupations across Vancouver. Other than the Delta wave against the paved protection camp that was taken down on May 5th, housing activists in Vancouver squatted 3 separate shelters that were of 5 that the city had planned to shut down. Their demands? More than the reopening of the shelters. For the shelter residents will be given adequate alternatives.
And the thing that seems really crazy to me, and I think to everybody, is that we have these shelters that keep, opening and then they close and then there has to be a whole new campaign to get them open again. This is not some kind of game. It's about a basic human right for people to have shelter, sense of security and dignity about their own life.
We're going to hopefully give Libby and others like her a little bit of help.
The city responded at House Street by bullying the squatters and then bringing in the police.
We want to make sure that there's nobody shows up here expecting to have shelter and find the place lost.
I get your point, and someone has to be a bad guy, unfortunately, right? And it's the police.
That's
always.
lame.
And they're getting charged with assault by trespass.
Yeah, I agree, it's lame. Yeah, it's assault by trespass, unfortunately.
Assault? Who are they assaulting?
It's assault by trespass, so it's just trespass. Much what it is.
In Fraser, the cops invaded the squat, arresting 8 people.
Come on! Outside.
The 8 arrestees were freed without charges the next day. The majority of shelter residents were given alternatives by the city due to the pressure the occupations brought. unhappy with the offers they were given, some in tears, returned to set up a tent city outside the Fraser Street shelter a day later. The tent city was forcibly taken down by the city.
Or you can voice your opinions, right, at any time. You can protest and voice your opinion outside of City Hall.
Councillor Whitsworth, who voted in opposition to the just passed bylaw requiring permits for protest structures, joined a bed-in that was carried out in City Hall to raise awareness of the dramatical housing situation. Cops and rent-a-cops alike were fooled this time, watching the wrong door, allowing over 50 protesters to quickly fill up City Hall. In order to save the new fountain shelter, activists occupied also BC Housing's office in Burnaby to get their request under great noise across. A small success. Another 2 months of funding for the highly occupied low-barrier shelter will allow up to 40 new fountain residents to sleep at night in a place that they like to call home.
It's hailing and they're going to close our shelter. That's not going to work for us. Keep the shelter open, and this is what we're all up against.
Liberal Party wants to implement a national housing strategy.
People have been calling for a national housing strategy for a very, very long time. Isn't it kind of an opportune time during an election to start promising national housing
It's actually
strategy?
we can budget for it. It's in our budget to do it if we were the government. We can continue to go down Harper Land.
Can I ask you? Do you know who actually scrapped the national housing strategy?
We did, I know.
Right.
I do know that, but I'm going to ask you guys to give us a chance this one time. If we don't implement a national housing strategy, you can say, oh, this guy Mark is a liar. We don't meet your standards and we don't implement a national housing strategy, don't ever vote for them.